welcome back to Tales of Solaria. So, guys, sorry for the long hiatus. I think I actually ended up catching COVID or a really strong flu earlier. But before further ado, let's discuss about Followers of the Void. Because I've been leaving this on the back burner for a very, very long time. So simply put, Followers of the Void are an interesting faction. They are like a group set of people, but at the same time they're kind of their own beings or entities. And the best way I can kind of describe them is how simply a virus takes over a cell. Like you can have the virus override the very DNA within the cell, and then from there replicate itself, and that pretty much that cycle pretty much goes on over and over again. Followers of the Void kind of follow that similar premise, the only difference being that they're a hive mind, and also because of the fact that the only way to become one is through either being struck by a rift or messing with time. Those are the two instances in which occurrences of Followers of the Void do usually happen. And in most cases, the individual soul is hollowed out to the point where, essentially, the person is neither dead or alive. They are just gone, and that is what happens to the individual. As for the personalities of the Followers of the Void and their actions, usually they mimic and replicate the personalities of the person that they once were, or that they of the host body that they exhibit. And in most cases, it's usually just to blend in, and also they almost all of them usually either carry a small artifact or a small a magical object just to use as a for like a sort of concealment magic as they wander around into various populated places. That is the one place that those are the one things that they like doing the most. They like being in populated areas, in places where there's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of corruption. That is their favorite dwelling place. As for what happens to Followers of the Void when they get found out, they show their true selves. In most cases, it's either they fight or they disappear out of sight. And as you can see, in some of those cases, you get to see right now in this video, the Queen of Solaria fighting against Rose, who is also a follower of the Void. And pretty much that's it. They show their true colors, they show their eerie eyes, and that is just to kind of throw off the individual that they're fighting against. And in most cases, they usually win because of their unique physiology. Compared to any living being, each and every living being has they have stamina, so they have burnout. If they overuse too much of the frequency magic, it ends up atrophying their hands and they're unable to cast any magic. If they use too much nature magic, it ends up using up their stamina. Same thing with inherited magic as well from tribal from tribal nations, specifically the Oscillarians and the people where Sepa comes from. Each and every individual suffers some sort of atrophy, but Followers of the Void do not. What they what they have is a stamina like no other. They are literally the embodiment of a living, breathing machine, one that is unending and can fight indefinitely. Of course, Followers of the Void do have their they do have their weaknesses. They can easily be taken down by artifacts and by chaos magic. But I'll say this, there's one caveat. In all of those cases, when they do get taken down, they always get back up. It is never a one and done kind of method to eliminating or taking them out. As for their purpose within the story and within the fantasy series itself, they are here to sort of bring about the end of the world, because their ultimate goal is to seek destruction. Their ultimate goal is to bring about the end of everything through entropy, and they usually bring about that with something known as the artifact ritual. You get to know you get to know more about it later on when I discuss it in another video. But the followers of the void have their own kind of ritual that is similar, using the crown of Solaria, which is the most powerful artifact that is not actively used by any individual, as it is usually protected and kept near towards the Queen of Solaria. One other thing I forgot to mention. Usually followers of the void can be found out by soul sight users, as users can see the soul of any individual, and most souls have a flame, something like a small bright flame in the middle, but followers of the void do not, as their body only contains a single silhouette, as it's just a frame, a former shell of what they used to be, and they usually do not have a flame. Interestingly enough, Rose is the exception. As a chosen flame, she is an individual that bears some fragments of her former soul, and in most cases it means that she can be the effect in her case can be reversed, or it can be slightly undone, but she can never truly be free. Compared to all other followers of the void, she too suffers the same fate, as an interesting little anomaly, which makes her the most powerful individual in some certain cases. But in the end, just like the many others, she's just a follower of the void, just like that.